Hey guys, welcome back. So in last week's video I spoke about 5 Doctor episodes which nearly never happened, and in this week's video I'm going to be talking about 5 Doctor episodes which did never happen and how they could have radically changed certain elements of the beloved show. But without no further ado, let's get into the video and see what those were. The first episode would have been called Death to the Doctor, very similar to the title of a Sarah Jane Adventures episode called Death of the Doctor, and like in the Sarah Jane Adventures it would have included a Sontaran. Now this disgraced Sontaran would have been called Storm or Scorm, some places call him something different, and it would have taken place in Series 5. Now this started being worked upon in September 2008, not long after the Sontarans returned for the first time in New Who. However, for some reason was abandoned and was replaced by the Lodger. Now I would have loved to have seen this, but Stephen Moffat did actually use the idea, of course, becoming Commander Strax in The Good Man Goes to War, which then went on to the Paternoster Gang. So I'm really pleased the idea was used, but I would love to have seen this adapted into a full proper story because it's certainly a great idea. The next episode is either called The 1920s or Doctor Who and the Green Knight. This episode would have been the 11th episode in Series 2, however, due to budget restrictions had to be moved to Series 3. But the writer Stephen Fry, who was too busy writing Kingsman at the time, couldn't rewrite it for Series 3, changing it from Rose to Martha, and therefore the idea had to be dropped altogether. Now this was of course replaced by Fear Her, which technically right now doesn't even exist on the Whoniverse either for obvious reasons. This episode was taken to the cast read for Series 2 and would have revolved around the legend of the Green Knight, but unfortunately this one's going to have to remain a legend for the rest of time. Another which was never made, which could have changed the way we look at both the Doctor and Rose, was the Untitled Story, where we learn that the Doctor was manipulating Rose's life in order to make her the perfect companion. Russell T Davies was naturally worried it would undercut the appeal of Rose, and the writer Paul Addett was too busy with Shameless, therefore it was replaced with Boomtown. Not keen on this idea, and I really do like Boomtown, so I'm happy with this outcome. One I would have absolutely loved to see was Sleep No More the sequel, and yes, I am a fan of it. Now after Series 9 Sleep No More, Mark Gatiss had already come up with an idea for the second part of the story. It was to see the Doctor go to Earth thousands of years before the Morpheus machines and discover the same process happening on Earth. This originally was meant to have gone ahead until Mark Gatiss learned that both Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi would be leaving after Series 10. Now with him knowing that it'd be his last episode as well, he wrote The Empress of Mars instead, which is a cool episode. It saw the introduction of the Ice Queen and of course saw the return of Alpha Centauri, whose original voice actor sadly passed away recently. The final one is probably the wildest and the one I'm really glad that never happened. It would have seen J.K. Rowling being the main focus of the 2008 Christmas special, and it would have seen an alien creature attach itself, making the real world turn into a magical reality. It would have seen the Doctor battle witches and wizards to get to J.K. Rowling and save the day. He had originally actually unsuccessfully approached her in 2004 to write for the show, but hoped this time he could persuade her to actually be in it, believing she's one of the very few people more famous than Kylie Monoke who could actually be on the show. David Tennant thankfully spoke out and said it'd feel like a spoof of the show, and with the unlikeliness of her actually appearing, in August 2008 it was changed to The Next Doctor. However, the idea was continued on to The Midwinter's Tale, but that's a story for another time. And that's 5 unmade Doctor episodes which never happened. Some of them were really cool ideas and I would have absolutely loved to see. However, some of them really weren't great, especially that Rose and J.K. Rowling one, and I think it's a reminder to us that some ideas should stay just that, ideas. But what ones would you have loved to have seen, and what unmade episodes would you like me to talk about next? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully see you in my next video soon. Thank you all for watching and take care.